So to get our equalizer board out, I have to pull these shafts out that go to the controls in the back here. Then we have to pull this connector here and this connector here that goes into the recording selection, source, tape 1, tape 2 buttons, because those terminate up here and there's no connector on this end. So we'll have to cut this tie wrap. Then normally what I do is there's a large ribbon connector that runs down the back, and I'll show you that. But I'm going to pull this board out and this board out. Probably going to just release the back panel and give myself a little more room to work. So let me start that process, and then I'll show you a different view. When viewed from the top, you can see that we have these ribbon connectors here that go to the RCA jacks on the back. And what I generally do is I just take the screws out and take this out with the equalizer, the equalizer board assembly here. I generally just take the screws out of the back of the unit down here and just flop the back so I have a little more room to work. And once I get those out, I can just take this board out with this and just put them on the bench or work on it. These are easy enough to get out. We just take these screws out from the front here. And they pull out of these little couplers here. If you can see this back here where my finger is. So we just pull and they come right off. It'll come right out the front like this. And we put all this stuff into a bag so they don't get lost. Same step for the other one. And one thing I'd like to point out, and as always, if you do this work, you do so at your own risk. There's a cover under normal operation that sits back in here, and I have to remove that in order to get the regulator board or the amp modules out, but it also exposes the convenience outlets on the back here. And it's easy to accidentally brush your hand across here and get a nasty surprise. Please don't ask me how I know this. Getting these RCA plugs out could be a bit challenging because there's only one screw and the rest are these nylon snap rivets. And I have in the past destroyed these trying to get them out. And I found that you can get these from Mouser, and I'm going to show you a picture of the bag that has the Mouser part number and the manufacturer's part number. Sometimes I just have to grab them with a pair of pliers and pull them out, and I can replace it with new ones now that I have a source for these. If you can get a screwdriver under the edge of one of these, you can usually pop it up. I put something here to provide a little leverage. I'm using just a pair of wire cutters now, but these are coming out pretty easily. So I may have gotten lucky on this particular one. Some of them are a little harder to get to or harder to get out, but these seem to be working pretty well. I had to unsolder two ground wires here and here. One goes in this board, one goes into this board, and a bunch of connectors. If you're unsure where you unplug connectors from, take plenty of pictures. I have a video to reference, but in any event, this board is now free. I have in the past had problems with continuity through this ribbon. I lost a channel one time on one I was working on, and that was what the problem was. So now I have the board out. I can move the amp out of the way and continue on Ben's process on this board. Something Ben has us do is increase the size of these capacitors that determine the roll-off in the phono amp. So these are 220 microfarad polarized caps. He has them replace them with 470 microfarad. They're significantly larger, but the problem is that the leads are also significantly fatter. So what I wind up doing is, once I get them unsoldered, which apparently I've failed to do, I take a small drill bit and I just spin it by hand in the holes until they're large enough to drop a larger cap in there. Let me unsolder this for reals, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, I've got that capacitor out of there, and now I'm just going to take this drill, put it in the hole, and spin it carefully because I've broken so many of these. These are Harbor Freight. They're inexpensive and they work fine, but they don't take a lot of stress, and if you bend them even just a little bit, they're going to snap. And you got to understand, these are very, very tiny drill bits. I just spin them by hand. I have a Dremel, but it's usually not worth pulling out for this because this goes pretty quickly. Of course, unless the camera's on. Okay, so that one's done. So the lead won't fit through that hole, but it will now fit through this one. So I'll do the other one. I'll be able to see if this is solder. I just wanted to point that out. With all the shields in place, everything cleaned up, the amp looks a lot better. It sounds really good, and it should be good for many more years to come. I'm going to move it out of the way, going to pile up all the parts here, talk briefly about it, and this thing is done and dusted. All right, so I'm going to play some music through here now. I'm trying something a little different. I got a mic on each speaker, and I got my old Mackie 1604 here. The cat's gone, but everything's still a trip hazard. Anyhow, I'm going to see how this works out. Let's start that over. These are most of the parts that came out of it. Whatever isn't here fell on the floor, never to be seen again. The most expensive parts are, of course, the filter capacitors, which I think I paid close to $30 for each. And, of course, the relay, which is around 12, 14 bucks. The rest of the parts are not expensive, but there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of labor involved. You saw on camera what was done, but you didn't see off camera. It was kind of laborious. I found the repair to be interesting. I don't really enjoy doing this kind of work. It's I find it tedious. I like the process of troubleshooting. But anyway, that thing should be good for another 40 or 50 years, so I can give it my limited lifetime warranty because at this age, my lifetime is limited. Anyhow, I thank everyone for watching, and as always, I like giving back to the community that's given me so much. Thanks a lot, folks.